met Sophie. She came into my studio about 8 years ago, and she started studying with me when her mom brought her for voice lessons, and that's where our journey started.
When did you think about that Sophie has a good voice?
The second she opened up her mouth for me, the second we did a scale.
It's true, yeah. It's
Sophie
true.
has a big voice.
Yeah.
And you?
How did you know?
How did I know? Well, I guess Sophie tells the story too. I can tell this part. You want to do it?
Yeah, so I guess I have to start with, it was a really long time ago. I was like 2 or 3 years old, and I was selectively mute because of my autism. So I was not talking, and I had no voice, and so one day I was in the car with my mom, and I would play the Disney Princess movie soundtrack on the radio in the car like 1,000 times, you know, and one of the songs from the CD popped up on the car radio, and I started to sing, and I was singing, and my mom was driving, and she started to cry because she was so amazed.
You were nonverbal.
She was so amazed
But
that
you sang, and that was
that moment when my mom was driving in the car crying because I finally had a voice, and I had the ability to finally speak. So after that, I could never stop talking, and
I used to sing when you were a little tiny.
And my mom
I used to sing her the princess songs, the Disney princess
songs
in the bathtub.
in the bathtub when I was little, yeah.
All the princesses, all new world, you know.
And that used to make me so happy, and that really.
And there was a lot of singing.
And it was a lot of singing, and.
Do you like to sing?
I could sing, but
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it.
You could try.
We all have a voice in us.
That's not an excuse, you know.
No, you
Maybe
can
need to take a
try.
trip to Marissa Lynn Studios.
Yeah.
I bet you can. Yeah, I bet there's a voice in there somewhere.
Right? Always
Yeah,
a
I
voice
bet
in
there's a
everyone.
voice. I bet there's a voice in you. Yeah.
Singing voice is made from the soundboard of people pushing buttons, you know, like reverb and echo.
Yeah, okay. There's so much electronics they use.
There is. It's
Yeah, a lot
it's
of.
all digital.
Well, a lot of famous singers, like Lady Gaga, and Beyonce, and and all of them. They all use auto-tune, and auto-tune became such a huge thing.
And it's a huge
It's a huge thing now, auto-tune. So yeah.
When did you come into the picture with Sophie?
I came into the picture with Sophie.
I was a freshman in high school.
A freshman
I was a
in high
freshman
school.
in high school. I was 15 years old.
And we started working, and she was really drawn to classical music. She loved Phantom, clearly, but she was also drawn to a lot of.
Duh.
She took to a lot of soprano songs. She really did. She loved that type of music.
Well, I told Marissa the first time I met her when I was 15 years old and I was a freshman in high school, I remember telling her that I was a huge fan of Broadway, and I love Broadway musicals, and I love Broadway music, and I told her that, and she was totally mind blown by that, and she really wanted to work with me. So and
I
we
knew
had
as soon as you started singing.
yeah. So we had so we kind of like we kind of clicked from there.
We clicked.
So so we kind of continue on from there. So.
What did you think when you wanted to take voice lessons?
What was your reaction?
When she wanted to take voice lessons?
Yeah.
I think my mom was
Can you
kind.
answer for me? No. That's a no.
Okay, you go ahead. You go ahead.
She just does not like sharing the stage. No.
I'm that kind of person.
I think, with a little bit of trepidation, because when you have a child who, you're afraid that they're going to have failures, and that's always a little scary, and yet at the same time, when you know that she was so passionate,
Yeah.
you don't want to hold them back either,
Yeah.
right? And so that takes precedent. You don't hold them back. And you say, and you keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And the thing, I was blessed with Marissa, who has the compassion and the understanding, and those two things really made this work. That Marissa really understands Sophie, and she understands Sophie's passion. Those are really important ingredients, to make something work.
Now, do you ever leave Marissa in the handbag?
Well,
Did you ever leave Marissa on stage before you met her?
did I ever sing on stage before I met Sophie?
No, did they see you ever act on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Sophie had done a lot of acting prior, right? You've always been creative.
Acting classes.
Yeah, I took a lot of
Is it
acting
Sophie or me?
classes. Yeah.
Have they seen you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
No.
today was actually the first time in 8 productions that I sang for my students and their family and friends.
That was a big breakthrough.
Yeah, that was like the first time I ever heard Marissa sing.
I mean, despite warm-ups.
Oh my God, it
I
was
pass?
so amazing.
Yeah?
I was like
Cool.
totally mind blown. I was like, oh my gosh.
My method of madness there was I never wanted to take stage time away from my kids, because when we first started, the productions were about them. It was about their work with me, and I always wanted to make sure that plays that I did before. So we had done Don't Tell Mama. We did a cabaret
We did the
there.
triad.
We did the triad.
Triad.
Here. We did Webster Hall.
I was not there for that.
The Metropolitan Room. And then we did this wonderful Gala
and then we did
today.
Sophie, is there any other dream roles?
Any other dream roles? Any other dream?
I think, well, to be honest, my dream role would have to be the lead in Phantom, Christine Diet in Phantom. That is my dream role. I've been wanting to be her for forever, and I would listen to the greats, like Sarah Brightman and Sierra Boggess and Kelly Ann Voorhees, and I would listen to them, be Christine on Broadway. And I finally said to myself, I want to be just like them. I want to be Christine. I want to be her on stage.
Christine is the ultimate schedule. They have 2 of them that split tour
Yes, you're right.
throughout the week. Because on tour, one of my good friends does it on tour.
That's amazing.
What's your favorite other than fans.
What's your favorite other than Phantom?
Oh my goodness.
What's another role you'd like?
Maybe. Oh my goodness, there's so many.
I love that answer. I love that answer.
Maybe Elsa in Frozen, the Broadway
Yes.
musical. I would love to be
Yes.
Elsa in Frozen, the musical on Broadway. I would love to be her too. I think that would be. I think that would be an amazing opportunity. So.
What's next for you?
For me, I think what's next for me is that I want to audition at the Majestic Theater in Manhattan to audition for Christine and Phantom. I've been wanting to do that for quite some time, and I would love to audition for that role. I think it's finally time for me to audition for that role. So.
I knew Marissa got the book with one of my favorite people. Actress and
Wonderful! Wonderful! Wonderful!
I love actress and
Yes.
you did
I did Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it was an incredible cast across the board. That's where I met my mentor, Eric.
actress and
And he was wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
I just want to thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
And thank you for having me.
Thank
Jesse,
you for having
coming
me. I
out.
loved
It was a gift
talking
have
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.